just a little bit of a mic check from everybody. If that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, cool.
Just whatever you do, just don't do the chibita.
Chibita.
Should I just join in whenever I feel comfortable?
Yeah.
You
You should do the chibita.
Chibita.
Do the
Chibita.
levels here.
Chibita.
Now can we get you great?
Yeah.
Chibita.
I have mine this way.
And welcome to another episode of Murder Schmurder.
It's the Murder Schmurder podcast.
Who would have thought?
How are our levels looking? We looking good?
I can do a few more chubbas.
I could do a couple
No more.
I'm just sitting here. I could do it. You know?
I feel like it's gonna come up in my sleep. Damn it!
It's gonna follow you for the rest. That's gonna follow you for the rest of your days.
Pretty sure that legitimately upset Jamie.
Yeah.
I'm picturing Jamie sitting in like an old Victorian like rubber room, and he's just like chubba.
Yeah. He's gonna be in the
Get the laudanum.
He's in a
Just
straight,
rocking back and forth. Yeah.
straight jacket.
They wouldn't stop.
Yeah, he killed all of his co-hosts.
They wouldn't stop. I told him to stop. You see what you made me did?
There's a girl I work with.
See what you made me did. I like that a lot.
There's a girl I work with who, like, randomly throughout the shift, she'll just go, "Mommy," to herself.
What?
God.
I don't
Yeah.
like that at all.
And
Mommy?
she'll go, like that. Mommy.
I don't like a haunted doll.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
And at first I was like, never do that again. That was the creepiest thing I've ever heard. And then she's got me doing it. Well, I'm just like walking down a hallway, Mama. And I'm like, I'm fucked up, bro.
Well, hey, how are you? Welcome back to Murder Schmurder.
Hey.
Mama.
Okay, that's not going to be a thing.
Right.
All right. I'm personally going to shut that down.
I actually kind of get it now.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Just start walking around.
Throw one out.
I feel like I can't start because then I feel like I can't stop.
My favorite thing to do, honestly, it's a timing thing. You got to really read the room. But to just randomly be like, I'm bored! Really goes a long way.
I just scream.
Somebody's confused.
Yeah, screaming.
Right. Now that
Somebody's confused. Somebody's offended. 2 people laugh.
I really like I like making like squeaking noises, but like sometimes I'll just like ask my coworker, I'll be like, hey, like do you know that I'm like half balloon? I was asking like, hold on to my finger.
Okay.
I'd be like on my finger.
Like such a great uncle.
I love that.
I really like doing it. And the waving the
that.
arms like you're outside a car dealership. It's so fun.
That is the perfect 6-year-old to 66-year-old joke.
Oh yeah, it's a joke for everybody. Everybody likes it.
Oh my God. So now that I'm now that most of my day is me just driving around from account to account, like I spend a lot of time in the car, right?
Yeah.
And then, I'll be sitting in traffic and
Laughing at yourself on our
laughing
podcast.
at myself.
The car is a sacred weird space.
It is. Because like I'll be stuck in traffic. Sometimes I just can't listen to music or anything. I just need a nice quiet thing. But sometimes the thing gets too quiet and I just go, ah!
Oh, it's perfect.
Oh my God. The car is the best place to scream, dude.
Oh yeah.
It is the best.
Mm-hmm. Because you can scream for like, you're like, I can't believe I'm still here.
Right. And yeah, you can scream about anything.
But you can just scream and just be like, ah! Like, just, you can do anything.
Right. And you just feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Also, it's good when you scream and then you see someone who just saw you like have a meltdown, and you're like, "Yeah, that was,
Yeah, that just happened.
yeah."
Yeah.
I know you do it too. We all do it.
That's why I think every car window should be tinted out.
Oh yeah.
No one should see what I'm doing in my car.
off of the manufacturing line for sure.
Oh yeah, like illegal tint is what I'm saying. Like it should be blackout.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we're already like eating cheeseburgers and watching movies on our phone while we're driving.
Yeah.
Is there any
Seriously.
reason why that your windows are
Reduce the
tinted so black? You don't
Yeah.
glare.
I'm
Yeah.
scrolling between different podcasts and music because I'm like, I don't know how I feel.
smash, crash.
Out of my way, bitch.
Officer, I didn't know it was illegal to drive naked. Hence
show
why
me,
it's
show me the law.
I don't think there is a law, hence why it's tinted for your privacy too. You're welcome.
Rolls up window.
It's a crank.
It's a crank window.
Oh my god.
Oh man. So, to the listeners out there, no time has passed for you. We've been very good at backlogging our episodes. They're coming out every week, baby. But we did take a couple weeks off of recording. One of the reasons is because I went on my very first vacation in the last 5 fucking years.
Well deserved.
Must be nice.
With my wife. It took, shut up. Okay.
Wow, allowing yourself to feel happy and not work. Weak.
So,
It's not very American of you, Grant.
thank you very much.
No grind set mindset
it
for this
was-
bozo.
It was Grace and I's 5-year anniversary.
Yay.
And when we proposed, when
No?
I proposed to her, we hit a whole bunch of national
You
parks.
both bought it out the same time.
And this time,
Deal or no deal? I marry you. You get a nice house.
that was actually pretty classic where I had a little shitty ring because I was going to have her pick out a proper engagement ring that she wants. I'm not going to fucking presume what the hell she wants, you know? And it was like burning a hole in my pocket for like 3 days. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, when there's nobody around, I'm going to fucking do it. We're at a national park. There's always people around.
Oh, yeah. Same thing
Always,
happened to me when I
always.
proposed.
Yeah. But anyways, that happened. 5 years later, Grace and I, we went to Vegas for 2 days. And then we rented a Sprinter van, like the tall, skinny boys that can like fit in a regular ass parking spot, that they decked out as a camper. So it had a little like wet shower, bathroom.
Yeah.
A little tiny
Now,
bed.
how the hell does that have a shower?
Well, they fucking did it. It's
You-
actually pretty
Do you
impressive.
sit down or do you?
To shower, you can
Yeah.
stand. You literally can rotate the little toilet to where you can stand in there.
That's
Oh, really?
wild.
Yeah, it
Oh,
would be
shit.
horrible for Austin. He would hate.
You'd be
this
bumping your
whole-
head. A
He'd
lot.
hate the whole.
Just like I
van.
normally do.
You
But
big
for-
galoot.
Right. There's
But-
nothing like going into work like, ow.
Mondays.
But for like two teeny tiny people like Grace and I, it was perfect. Honestly,
Yeah.
the van was great. I had a little kitchenette.
You
And
guys are
then
like a couple of hobbits.
I know, right? No,
Especially with
seriously.
your grippy feet.
Yeah, with my grippy feet, dude. The not the last rental
Hate 'em.
house, but the one before that. It was like 6 of us in this big house. We actually lived in this
In the
converted
cupboards?
attic space, and the ceilings were so low that my lead singer and my keyboard player were pretty tall, and they had to duck the entire time that they were ever up there.
That is my hell.
And I was like, this is great. Like, I'm just fucking full back shoulder, just
Yeah.
walking through my.
Right. I can already hear my lower back screaming.
It really is just
Like-
Gandalf in the Hobbit house.
Like
Yeah,
my
100%.
my lower
Yeah.
back sounds like the teapot, like on a stove, like that.
Anyways, it's got a little kitchenette, little fucking fridge. It was honestly great. Vegas was fucking weird, dude. A lot of like hollow-eyed, just zombie people wandering through. It's
Yeah.
designed now where it's basically a shopping mall. Like the hotel was attached to 2 different casinos, but it was all inside.
Yeah.
You could literally walk and go through these catacombs, and then you would finally get outside if you choose to. You don't have to, but there's
so
shops, there's restaurants. If you go downstairs, like an escalator, there's a smoke-filled casino,
Mhm.
and they're families, kids,
And these are all like interconnected through the Vegas
all-
catacombs.
interconnected. And then you would finally go outside if you want to, and you can look at the hotel because it's taller than a lot of the other shit, and be like, wait, how did I end up here? It's very far away, and it's a completely different cardinal direction than I thought I was going to be in.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird as
I don't
fuck.
know.
Also, the way you said like if you wanted to makes it sound like you had to ask for directions outside, and they're like, for what?
Yeah. Kinda. For real? Kinda. Because there's like
I haven't seen the sun. What do you need the sun for?
I've been down here for 6 days.
it was weird as fuck. Neither of us had ever been. So the reason why we went is that the rental place had a spot we could pick up the van in Vegas and we could drop it off in San Fran. And we're like, well, let's stay a couple days in Vegas just to check it out.
Right.
Immediately lost like all of the money I set aside just for gambling
Right.
in the first fucking night.
What were we doing? Craps? Blackjack?
Yeah, blackjack. I have never understood craps. I've had 4 people explain it to me. I won at craps one time
every day.
because a very, very old man that knew what he was doing. I just bet what he bet. This is another casino.
I
like
liked
a little
it.
shitty
I'm
one.
that guy at the table.
Oh, sure.
Craps.
I thought something stank around here. What is craps?
It's what I put in my toilet
dice
after
game.
a day of
Oh, where
Taco
you
Bell.
can bet on all black or the number that it falls on.
That's
or-
roulette. So basically, it's
Oh.
a big table and you throw dice.
Dice.
And there's a whole fuck ton of betting that you can do.
Just the fact that I was like, the one with dice. Like, oh, you mean the one with the ball and the red and the black?
Oh,
no, the,
yeah,
the one
that's
with the
different.
dice.
Yeah.
The one where
yeah.
you spin it? Dice.
The one with the 52 cards.
The one with the lever action handle.
So anyways, we leave
I also
Vegas.
don't know what craps is.
So anyways, we leave Vegas. And we're now on the road. We're going to go through Death Valley. Or we go through Death Valley. And then the Sequoia National Park, which has got the gigantic fucking trees. And then we're going to be spending 3 days in Yosemite. 1 day in Sequoia. Feel fine when I'm leaving. And I have a very, very long, harrowing drive. Because that van is loaded the fuck down with all the shit that they put in it to
Yeah.
make it a
Yeah.
little tiny home.
And it's tall.
And it's tall and it's heavy.
Yeah.
And man, when you're going through these crazy, winding, like mountainous roads with high winds hitting you, I mean, literally, this bitch is just
Oh, man. That's
Swaying.
It was awful. And then
Did they give you any like instructions? Because that seems really unsafe.
Yeah, they didn't give you a
did
heads up.
not. And here's the foreshadowing. They also didn't tell me how to set up the toilet to actually use the toilet.
Oh, no.
So I have
Sorry.
a very
Remember when I said that being in the attic was my nightmare? No, that's my nightmare.
Yeah.
So what we thought was going to be a 4-hour drive was like a 7.5-hour drive. We get
Were
to
you
the-
just white knuckling it? Just
yes, the whole fucking
Fuck,
time,
man.
dude. It was rough. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm so just beleaguered. Like I can't really speak. I mean, literally at one point, Grace was like, "I don't know how to talk to you right now." I was like, "I don't know how to talk." So we're good. If you want to go to bed, we finally get to the campsite. It's like 11 p.m. Everybody else is very much asleep.
Is it
dude.
all desert out there?
That's the crazy thing. So it's like desert and then crazy mountains and then a shitload of trees out of nowhere.
Oh, wow.
It's very cool.
Is it Grace just talking to you? She's just like, so what do you want to do later today? And you're just fucking sweating bullets trying to not kill you both?
Yeah.
Because you have to shit.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really know what was going on. So I
So,
get
so
there.
you're just fucked up from the night before still.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just weird. Everything feels weird. And so we go and there's like a pop-up and you're basically sleeping on the roof of the van, but it's internal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I feel like woozy and nauseous. Is it because the van moves when I shift my weight?
Yeah, are
Because
you
we're on
motion
top of
sick
it?
or-
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Or is it like all the altitude change? Because we went from like negative 280, like literally 280 feet below sea level in Death Valley to 6,000 feet above sea level
Yeah.
within 7
I was
hours.
going to say it probably has to do something with all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And I lay down and I'm like, let's
I just
get
came
some-
from Vegas. I'm below 280 feet below sea level. I'm going to go 6,000 feet above sea level. I don't know how to drive this thing. I have to shit.
Yeah.
So
A
anyways,
little hungover.
Yeah,
Probably
Grace
still
is
drunk.
like, Grace is like, so what's going on?
You have like the appetizer sampler platter of shitty feelings.
Yeah. So I'm laying down. I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking go to sleep. And then I kind of get settled a little bit. I go, oh no! And I ran/fell down the ladder that goes down to the main area where the little bathroom is, and I immediately start exploding from both ends almost simultaneously. I barely have enough time to go from sitting to turning to puking into this fucking toilet. Then realize that the toilet's not set up. Oh, no. So it literally starts backing up into the shower. It starts trickling this brown, black, red sludge.
I gotta ask, Grant. So at least whenever I'm sick, like I'm about to like shit myself or I'm about to vomit, my body gives me like a 2-hour heads up. Where like for 2 hours straight, it's just like you have nausea and I'm just trying to battle it. I'm just like, no, I'll be fine. I'm not going to vomit it.
Yes.
But this was just like.
It was a flip of a switch. Like instincts kicked in. And it was like, it is time to get rid of everything. And I'm not gonna lie, dude, Grace was so sweet about it because this is loud. This is bad.
Yeah.
And it's smell-wise horrible.
Hang on.
And she was like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? And I'm like, no, get away from me. You know?
Grace is in earshot. Grace, could you come over here? I have a question for you. Grace, when this was going
Get up
on
on Joey's mic.
when this was going on, what was the flip for you? Like, did you like, oh, like this is so nice and so beautiful, or like, and then like this started going on, or like
the duality of man?
What was your experience in that flip? Or were you like just dead asleep and then you wake up to him being like, I'm dying?
I was not dead asleep. I very much was still kind of reeling from the trip myself. Mm-hmm. But I was trying to sleep.
It's hard to sleep with.
Oh, no. Oh God!
Oh dear God, please stop!
It was before that happened. I could tell something was off when we got to our campsite. Grant was very stressed, very like non-responsive, basically, and I was like, okay, well, you take as much time to download as like be here as possible. I'm starting to get tired. I'm at least gonna try and go upstairs, up the ladder and relax. Grant did have a nightcap, so he had some whiskey on.
It was like a tiny whiskey.
I know, but still, he was like trying to
For me, it's
like
nothing.
ease his body into relaxing. Finally came up, and we were both just like not asleep yet. And when he basically fell down the ladder.
Did you make a sound where you're like, uh-oh? Or was it just like you didn't have time?
No, it was very much. Grant was like, I gotta get up. And he like very quickly like pivoted his feet, fell down the ladder, threw the accordion door open to this little tiny wet shower. And I was awake by this point because I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be good. Mm-mm. And the noise that I heard that came from him was...
can you mimic it?
Primal.
No, I can actually tell you what it sounded like. It sounded like someone took a bucket of water and splashed it onto a hard floor.
God.
Yeah, no, it was immediate, and it was full expulsion from both ends, and I was just like, I was just like, oh my God, Grant is really sick.
I'm staying up here.
I was up there and I kept like, I'm hanging on the edge of the little like opening to get down. I'm just like, Grant, I'm so sorry. I know this is awful. I'm so sorry. And he's just like, don't talk to me. And then like more would happen. And then I was just like, God damn it, Grant. I was like, is there anything I can do for you? I was trying to be as supportive.
Kill me.
And so he finally, like, the first round went through and was done, and he just kind of was like in shock, basically.
It's over.
And then
It's just that 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah. No, he stayed down there, and I stayed up there because he was like, Grace, don't come down here. Don't come down here. Like, not only had he closed the door, but
But remember, the toilet's not working.
Right.
How sweaty were you?
It's everywhere.
He was
so
drenched.
sweaty.
He was drenched, like
awful.
full sweat, like full body sweat. He stayed down there, and it happened at least 2 more times before I finally like ventured down because there's another bed in the main area. So I put the bed down so that he could lay on that bed next to the toilet.
You know the post puke spits. You're like,
Yeah.
It's just like water and dry heaving.
But it's his butthole.
It was both. Well,
100%.
and I gotta say, like Grant was so trying to keep me from experiencing the smell.
The stench.
oh God, I was just
It was
You
thinking.
need to remember, like in this van, like all of the windows are like they're the slide windows that they have mesh over. So we had airflow, and thankfully it was very cold.
Oh,
That
that's
night?
good. That's good.
Thankfully, it was very cold and it was breezy. So there was at least like air moving in and out of the van. So I could still
Not
sleep
enough.
in it and not choke, basically. Grant proceeded to.
I'm going outside with the coyotes.
Grant proceeded to continue to expel until there was nothing left, basically for about 4 hours. So it's now like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Pause real quick.
And he was crying,
So-
essentially, just like, there's nothing left.
My
I
theory
really
is
did have a moment was like, please just stop. I'm out of bile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm
Please
still heaving. I'm like,
So
just
dehydrated.
stop.
okay. Here's my theory, and again, I'm no doctor, but it sounds like your body is denying you the idea of a vacation. It's like vacation 5 years? No, I think not,
for
sir.
You, not for
He
you.
literally had a moment the following night where I'm like, poor Grant is still, sorry, Joey. I'm
No,
just
you're
like right
good.
over your shoulder. Poor Grant's still like dehydrated and moving at the pace of like, glacial speed. And he's just
Grant,
like,
you don't
"Grace,
mind
you're
driving
gonna-"
again, do you?
Well, I drove out of there.
Dude, I was incapable of driving.
I was gonna say you need to tell the story of the next morning, but it was just like the next night when we got to Yosemite. It was also dark. Grant was trying to walk me through some of the buttons and the generator and the thing, and I'm just like, I don't remember what the kids said. They're like, maybe we can't go on vacation.
It was like this 19-year-old kid.
He was at least 23.
I don't know.
Whatever.
By the
His
way,
name was
different
Nico, and
generation.
he was
So you're
covered
gonna-
head to toe
So what you're
with
gonna do? You're gonna
tattoos.
plug in the skibbity charger.
It was almost like that, but he was kind.
So
He
anyways,
hooked us up.
I do. Next morning happens. In the middle of the night, I literally have like the mattress pad for this fold down bed that's in the lower area as a blanket and my jacket as a pillow. And I'm just wearing like boxers or like my sleep shorts that now have a fair amount of diarrhea in them.
Full of holes.
And
Half
just
covered in
I'm just
diarrhea.
curled up, and I'm thinking, I feel like Emil Hirsch in fucking Into the Wild. You remember when he starts
Yeah.
dying in the van
Yeah.
alone?
And it smells like a Civil War surgery tent.
Oh God.
so it's all backing up. The toilet wasn't set up right, which, by the way, is just a simple little switch that you hit.
It's a switch.
don't you
from
love?
the
Don't you
outside.
love figuring that out afterwards?
Oh yeah, it was great.
Go this way,
It
and
was
then
great.
turn this way.
So, anyways, it's backing up. So every time I have to go back, I'm now hanging my head out of the accordion door. I'm pulling it over as much as possible, but if I put my entire head inside of the bathroom, the smell is making me more nauseous, which is making things worse.
Oh,
so I'm just
buddy.
hanging my head out, and it's like, Grace, you should maybe go outside.
Oh my God.
Next morning happens. I swear I can barely walk. It's like 2 steps, take a breath. 2 steps, take a breath. Oh God, the sun is up. And I gotta sit on the side of the van, you know. And then we open the hatch and it is rough. Because there's like a catch for the toilet.
There's an actual tank.
You know,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
like pull out and you put in like a waste receptacle
Right.
at the campsites and
So
stuff.
you have an aquarium full of nightmares.
But the thing is that the catch wasn't open
Oh,
it. So it's just
Nightmare.
in the compartment.
You're telling
So-
me you had to stick your hands down in that?
I found a glove. Well, Grace found me a glove. And I start grabbing it and putting it in the container,
Oh.
which made me vomit a whole bunch.
Oh my god.
Hang on.
And there's a couple like in the next campsite over having breakfast.
We waited.
I know we did purposefully wait till breakfast was over, but they were still there, and I was like, if I wasn't this sick, I would apologize right now, but I'm just doing good to stand up. you
See,
know?
I think Grant's withholding information here. I think Grant is withholding that 24 hours prior to this, Grant saw a sign that said $10 seafood buffet at Las Vegas, and he goes, "Ooh,
Dude,
no matter what I do."
wish that was the case because
Clams?
because you both everybody in this fucking room 100% knows that I would go for that. I would actually do that.
It's very in
I
character.
didn't know there was a beach in the desert.
That's the cheapest thing I've seen in this
I can-
goddamn town.
I can hear you like with the
Raw
cartoon noise.
oysters?
Like,
Yes, please.
I was like, well, don't mind if I
To be
do.
fair,
Yes.
the first night we were in Vegas,
Yeah.
we ate oysters.
I did have oysters.
The second night we were in Vegas, we got sushi. We ate the same shit the entire time.
Oh, and she was fine.
And she was fine.
I was fine at this point.
Interesting.
I know.
At this point.
So, anyways, I'm not able to hold down fucking Gatorade, water. Like, literally, at one point, I spewed fucking the Gatorade that we bought when we were going from Sequoia to Yosemite. We passed this weird little town. And I went to a CVS and I just loaded up. I was like anti-nausea, anti-diarrhea, like fucking Tums, you know.
You didn't get any what's it called? Devil's lettuce?
We didn't actually.
No,
Really?
we were planning on buying weed while we were in California. And,
I was too busy shitting myself.
No, but
I was
like
too busy having
devil's
dysentery.
lettuce actually helps cure that.
That's true. But I was too busy having dysentery on the fucking Oregon Trail. But I'm finally okay. And then I'm good enough to like I make us dinner, like do this little chicken and rice dish, and I'm doing everything. Yeah, a day and a half later. And I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad this is over, kind of a thing. And I'm like, Grace, here's your food. And she looks at it and goes, I think I need to go to the bathroom.
This was at the Yosemite campsite. And thankfully, the campground bathroom was right next to where we camped. And all that day, when Grant's rallying and is like making strides to like have an appetite again, finally getting hydrated,
Drinking whiskey.
we had gone out to
No,
the
actually, no more
northernmost
booze.
part
The whole
of
rest
the
of the trip.
park, and it's a spot called Hetch Hetchy, and there's this O'Shaughnessy Dam is out there. It's pretty cool, but all the drive out there I felt fine. The drive coming back, I'm like, I don't feel so fine anymore. We get to the campsite. I'm like, still not feeling great, but let's make dinner. He handed me the food, and I'm sitting on the bed, and I'm like, nope, I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to go over here, and I proceeded.
Don't follow me.
Yeah, no, I went to the bathroom, and unfortunately, because it is so chilly in Yosemite at this point of the season, they were pumping heat into the bathroom.
Oh no.
Like it was very toasty in there. From when you're cold, it's
Right,
lovely.
right.
When you're sick, it's awful. So I walk in. Thankfully, there's a spot open. I sit down just in time to do exactly what Grant did. And then as that finishes, I realize I'm about to catch vomit. And I caught vomit just in time to turn around to then projectile into the toilet
Right.
with
So pants and underwear down, just
pants around my
ass
ankles.
to the world.
Just, if anyone had walked in and opened that door, I'd have been fucked, basically. But it was like, did all of that.
I hope not.
Nah, I think a serial killer would be like,
Fridays,
oh,
Not that
gross.
kind of fuck. Yeah,
I was just gonna kill her.
not that
You're
kind
in
of
a
fuck.
deep enough hell right
She's
now.
already dying.
Anyway, I walk back to
Do you want me to call somebody?
I walk back to our camper, and I push the food back at Grant. I'm like, there's no way I can eat that. And then I proceed for the next 6 hours overnight to, now with a working toilet and shower, I proceed to sit on it, and then found a bucket in those day and a half.
Yeah.
Found a bucket. So I'm
So she
hugging
had a
bucket.
working toilet and a bucket.
Yeah, but I am now dry heaving
goddamn
at
it.
3 a.m. and I'm sure everyone around us heard it all. I've got nothing left, and I thankfully got the shorter and less terrible variation of his because I was at least able to rally and like get some water and crackers the next day. But yeah, that was our dysentery story.
It was at one point, like the main night when it was happening, I think maybe the next day, she was like, I think that's the sickest I've ever seen anyone in my entire life.
We were like 6 hours away from
And
having
we're
to
in
drive
a
out of the
Sprinter
park
van.
to an urgent care.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I hate to say it, but I'm being honest and legitimate here. That is kind of the most romantic thing ever.
I will say we
She
love each
didn't
other
leave me.
so much more now.
You know?
Yeah, I'm saying like
I think
We love
after
each
that,
other
Right.
so much
it's
more
like
now.
we did that together.
Dear listener, that is what real intimacy is.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
If-
honestly.
Yeah, if you can shit your brains out in the not even the same room, in the same fucking van, then that's
goddamn
fucking
van.
love.
Oh my God, it was nuts. The rest of the trip was great.
Seriously, we still rallied enough to do some hikes and like enjoy.
You did hikes, y'all.
Yes.
Fucked
You guys
up.
hiked?
Y'all are
We
fucked
did
up.
like
Some hikes,
little
baby.
hikes, shorter hikes. No, we weren't like.
Yeah, they're
climbing
little boys, yeah.
mountains.
Yeah, yeah.
We were definitely. It was like a 2.5 mile hike.
Yeah.
The day that he rallied enough, and then the day that I rallied, we went up to a spot called Glacier Point. And at least walked around. We didn't do anything crazy, but
Yeah, by the way,
did
he
you
saw
guys-
some shit.
Did you
Also,
guys
San
drink?
Fran is great.
San Fran's
I
awesome.
really like that
Yeah.
city. It really did.
I went for the first time the other day. It was like a couple months
A
ago.
little while- yeah.
I don't remember if we had talked about that already. I don't want to,
Too much repeats, yeah.
Yeah, right. But no, San Fran's great.
Yeah, I really like
Did you guys go to the pier?
We did.
Yeah.
Nice. You see the seals barking at each other?
We didn't get there in time, like light wise. It was too dark.
Um,
But we did get some dope ass food.
Yeah.
And
Sure
then
you could hear 'em.
We did the Ferris wheel
Yeah.
out there.
It's a little cheesy. Like,
Oh,
We
I
went to
didn't
the
do
Buena Vista
Ferris.
Cafe and had Irish coffee.
I also went to Buena Vista.
Yeah, you did.
I showed you the video of the guy that looks too much like you.
Yeah, yeah, that was weird. I was like, I just left that place.
Oh, me? My name's Dallas.
Right. I am curious though on your
That's
way
a
up.
high five.
Were you guys drinking tap water at all? Because I have a similar story.
No, we got bottled water from.
Yeah, no, the entire time
Walmart.
we were in Vegas, that was all bottled water. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
And
they
then we
literally
bought-
shove bottled water into your hand. the
Yeah, they were
minute-
like, you're drinking a
Hydrate.
lot
Yeah.
in the
Well, no,
desert.
they're the little
Yeah.
bottled
Water,
waters
water.
that they give you, which are so fucking wasteful. But at every hotel or at any moment, they're like, "Water? You want a water? You want a water?" And it's just like, fucking yeah, we're in the desert. Of course I do.
Yeah.
But you can't hydrate enough.
I know.
There's absolutely no way I could ever live there. It's too fucking dry.
Yeah.
I would be a prune within a month.
I mean, we're swamp people. you
We are
know?
swamp people.
Yeah.
Live in the southeast. We're swamp people. You know?
I have a similar story when I was on tour with the drum corps,
Mhm.
where we were in Oklahoma. Which shout out to our listeners to Oklahoma, but get
Move.
out. That place sucks.
Leave immediately.
Right. Oklahoma's awful.
You have everything but hurricanes.
right.
Literally.
Yeah, tornadoes. Yeah, the
Tornadoes.
it stormed out there.
earthquakes,
It was
heat
terrifying.
stroke.
There are earthquakes in Oklahoma?
Yes.
Dude, move. what are you doing?
I've never
Immediately.
seen more terrifying like storm clouds in my entire life
Yeah.
than out there.
That's nuts.
And when you're outside in the heat, it feels like you're underneath a magnifying glass. They have fire ants whose ant hills are the size of manhole covers. The hole to get into
They're
the
as
ant
big
hill
as Austin.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
did you say manhole comers?
covers.
I know. I thought you said manhole comers, and I was like, I don't
No,
wanna-
that's
I like that.
That's my OnlyFans.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
It's all goat season cum shots.
Maybe that was quick. Good job.
but no, they're the size of literal manhole covers, and the hole to get into the anthill is the diameter of a fucking pencil. Like I'm not kidding. You go near that thing, they're coming after you.
Those little bastards are
You don't want to
big.
fuck that hole. Is what he's trying to
That,
tell you.
do not put your penis in there. And then on top of that, they have scorpions, and then on top of that, they have magnesium in the water, like in their water system. And when you're in a drum line, you're filling your water up from the spigot, just to get some foot,
And you're drinking a lot of it.
and you're drinking a lot of it. Right. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had milk of magnesia, but
It's a diuretic, right?
it makes you poo.
Yeah.
Gave all 150 members of this drum corps the shits.
Yeah, of course.
Like we had to take poo breaks
as a unit.
as a unit.
You know the Oklahoma
like
schools, like, you want to
sections
tell
at a
them?
time.
Yeah.
Contras, go.
They'll figure it out.
Baseline, your turn.
Should we give them toilet paper? That's the nice thing to do.
And for the rest of the tour, we referred to that moment as the Oklahoma shits, which kind of sounds like a AAA baseball name.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, well, that was my story. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thanks
you
for
so
sitting in,
much.
Grace.
Thank you, inline producer. But today, my friends, we have a special tag teamed, a DP'd, an Eiffel Towered episode by yours truly and the infamous Joseph's Smokesums.
That's right.
Now, this is a
Grant
full...
got bottom half. I got top half.
That's right,
Hell
that's
yeah.
right, baby.
And then we swapped.
Yeah, as lovers do.
Yeah.
But this is a full-blown schmurder type episode, considering there's no actual documented murder or death in this one. But man, if you took the media's word for it, at the time, you'd surely think so. Either way, today we're going to be talking about the often forgotten but massively punk rocker G.G. Allen.
A man who preached the virtues of bestiality, incest, and pedophilia, ran around on stage screaming like he was the Antichrist come to life.
You know, I could see why you prefaced with the poo story. It sounds.
Oh, strap in, buddy.
I think
I'm
you're
really
kinda,
glad you picked up on that.
I think you're kind of gearing up. I think. See, that was just a palate cleanser, listeners.
Unfortunately, yes.
And we're working in brown tones today. That's right. Bob Ross is at the wheel. Making happy little poops.
I can already hear him flapping that brush against the stand.
Oh, dude. There's my uncle who passed. One of the funniest things I ever. My grandmother's house, she never had cable, like just literally antennas. You know what I mean? And Bob Ross came on one time, and it was like one of the 3 channels you could watch. So as a full family, we were like, all right, fuck it. And we watched it, and he does the little like brush slap on it or whatever and giggles. And then my uncle was like, oh man, I wonder what he died of.
Oh my God.
Fucking dark and so perfect.
I wonder what he died of.
It was awesome.
Jesus.
I know. He was a dark guy. It was great. But G.G. Allen, this man was probably the raunchiest, most subversive, violent, and off-putting frontman ever to stomp on a stage in his combat boots with his little micro penis, sometimes swaddled by some tighty-whities and or nothing else. Until we had some shit and blood.
That's right. G.G. Allen's go-to performance outfit was combat boots, his signature leather jacket, and then women's panties, tighty-whities, or just straight up nothing. And boys, I know what you're thinking. What does penis look like?
That was my first thought.
We're talking the last shrimp at the salad bar. To quote Saloon Broadchest, it looked like a tick stuck to Bigfoot's ass.
I honestly, it was
A
pitiful.
scrimp, you would
It
say.
was a scrimp.
It was a script.
Was it a grower shower situation?
Nope, it was just pathetic.
He was just a little.
Is there a
just-
picture of
Oh
Oh yeah.
his erect penis?
No.
All right,
probably.
fine. Twist my arm. I'll look it up.
Oh, well, Austin's looking like
What's
that.
this guy's name again?
G.G. Allen. G.I.G.I. Allen. But sadly, we may never get another one like him. His live performances often featured transgressive acts, including self-mutilation, defecating on stage, and assaulting audience members, for which he was arrested and imprisoned on multiple occasions.
I was about to ask. Isn't that illegal?
Yeah,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, massively. On one interview, he claimed that he had been arrested 50 times.
Which
All-
is actually a pretty accurate number.
I think so. I
Yeah.
really don't think he was like bolstering his numbers.
Yeah, this man talked a lot of shit, but when he was talking about the arrest record, I mean, he was like in prison, I would say probably at least 30 times documented.
Yeah. The only way that his tours were canceled was when he was jailed. Quite literally.
Mhm.
You know. One interview, All Music called him the most spectacular degenerate in rock and roll history. While G4 TV's That's Tough labeled him
There's-
the toughest rock star in the world. What you got, Austin?
There's Gigi Allen, the the rock star. There's also Gigi Allen, the porn star.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting a
There's
lot
A
of.
lot of.
Yeah,
I'm like, this doesn't seem that bad.
This is small?
That's nice. So some nice titties for a penis. Anyway, but no, I found him. No, yeah, it looks like a little
A little chicklet.
Yeah. Little hairy chicklet.
little Vienna sausage.
Now, before we get too deep into it, everyone in this story has a nasty punk rock name, and we want to hear you guys's. Me and Grant came up with some for each other, and also some band names, and we're going to hit you guys with them real quick.
Nice. You put them up here.
I put them up there because I want to hear what Jamie and Austin's dirty, nasty punk rock names are.
So you guys got to focus.
Oh.
Get off your screens.
I'm looking at some dick right now. I'm busy.
That's not a dick.
We're doing a thing.
You're looking at a pee-pee, sir.
That's right. There is a difference.
He's got so much anger too,
Yeah.
Imagine.
Look at what he's got.
imagine that.
Small
dude. That
it is.
tiny PP,
Right.
like fueled. I hope some great music.
No. He's actually really dog shit at
I feel
music.
like I was gonna say it's.
It's pretty shitty.
I feel like it's either shitty punk rock or the Third Reich. Honestly,
It's a pretty good combo of both, actually.
No, you're on bar. Yeah.
So,
killing it lately. I don't know.
You have.
I don't know
What's happening.
I don't know.
Grant, do you want to lead with your dirty crust punk name?
Well, Joey decided to call me Grunt Butter. Pretty good. Pretty good.
That just gave me nausea.
Grant decided to call me Jay Spitz
With
Which-
a Z.
with a Z. I also like Jizzy Gillespie.
We got Joey Scrotum on there.
Joey Scrotum was another
I
one.
like Joey Scrotum.
I think Joey Scrotum's fun.
Joey Scroats.
Joey Scroats?
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
Joey
that a lot.
Scroats.
Yeah, Joe some Scrotum. Band names. We got Harm's Reach, Taint Needles, Grundle Punchers, Screaming Taints, the Colostomy Hags,
The Bloody Plugs, Chapped Ass, Twat Razors, and my personal favorite, Cloudy Discharge.
With a chance of rain.
With a chance of rain.
First album.
First album. Yeah, exactly. So I want to hear some nasty
What you got,
crust
what you
punk gutter shit.
So
from
you want to hear
guys.
my punk name?
Yeah, I want to hear your punk.
I think turd sausage.
God damn, that's good.
Really good.
Just off the rip. This boy's on fire.
I know.
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
All of this is giving me nausea.
Oh, dude, wait. It's not going to get better.
No.
I think I'd call you knuckle fuck.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I liked punk back in the day.
Help me. I'm thinking toenail something.
Toenail
crunch?
splinter?
I like toenail crunch. How about that?
Toenail
is not bad.
crunch.
I was thinking nail smegma.
Schmegma, not
Right.
smegma.
Nail schmegma.
Yeah.
Oh, dead air. Perfect.
That's the Dramamine
Right.
break.
Ingrown. I don't know. I'm thinking like
How about-
Ingrown, yeah.
hangnail. Hangnail.
What about sriracha urethra?
That's good.
I kind of like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like
Sriracha.
that.
It's
urethra.
wordy in a good way.
Right.
Yeah.
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 You're like a mean ska player.
Like I have a keyboard tie.
But that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Over distorted ska, all minor chords.
He's not skanking. He's just stabbing.
Oh, that's
Oh man.
so. Anyways,
Poo rag.
Poo rag is too good.
Yeah,
God, I hate that.
punchy.
That's so good.
You know?
Poo rag.
Poo rag.
He handles the merch.
Yeah, go see Poo Rag.
Hey, Poo Rag, we're out of triple XLs.
I told you I ordered them last week. They're in the back.
Rag, he was fine. So, Kevin Michael, aka G.G. Allen, was born in August 29th, 1956, as Jesus Christ Allen.
Hold on.
Actual name.
What? That's his actual
Legal birth name, Jesus Christ Allen.
Oh boy.
At Weeks
Wonder what
Memorial
his parents were
Hospital.
like.
Right.
Ugh.
Well, we're going to learn a little bit. At Weeks Memorial Hospital in Lancaster, New Hampshire, the younger of two sons, born to Merle Colby Allen Sr. and Arletta Gunther. He was given this name because his father told his wife that Jesus Christ had visited him and told him that his newborn son would be a great man in the vein of his Messiah. During early childhood, Allen's older brother, Merle Jr., who played bass for him a vast majority of their career, was unable to pronounce Jesus properly and called him Jeje, which became Gigi. Which, by the way, older brother. I just need to, I don't know why, but I need to make that known.
Yeah.
Typically, they learn how to read first.
Typically, but this was not what I would call a functional family.
No?
Allen's family lived in a log cabin with no running water or electricity.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just imagining them at the doctor. So, what do you want to name the kid? Jesus Christ. Okay. A little off the cuff, but
Got it. Okay.
How much is this going to cost me?
$3,000. Jesus fucking Christ.
All right.
Jesus
fucking is
F.
the middle
Christ.
name?
So
Yeah.
this is 1956, not 1856.
No.
Exactly.
1956.
Yep. And they were in Groveton, New Hampshire, which I saw some video. Did you watch that documentary?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a G.G. Allen documentary that was pretty upsetting.
Oh, it was rough.
For those who don't know, New Hampshire is essentially the militant step uncle of New England. In New Hampshire, the state motto is live free or die. And boy, howdy, they fucking mean it. Legally, you are not required to wear a helmet when you're on a motorcycle.
Hell yeah.
You don't have to wear a seatbelt while driving.
Hell yeah.
And if you get a ticket, you are legally and morally obligated to fist fight the cop.
Wait, what?
Not really, but pretty much.
Yeah,
New Hampshire is
It's wild.
very
If
much.
they pull you over and you don't have a gun, you go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight to jail.
Yeah.
Or they give you a gun.
Now you're going to jail.
So Gigi's father, who gave him the just chef's kiss of a name, was an abusive religious fanatic who threatened his family with constant murder-suicide threats.
And when we're talking constant, I mean like constantly.
If you don't fucking eat your peas right goddamn now, I'm going to kill you, and then I'm going to kill me.
Yeah, but like imagine that, but real.
Right. But I promise you, we will be on church on Sunday.
Yeah.
One time while being interviewed about his family, G.G. Allen recalled a time when he was 9 years old, and his father had been his usual ranting and raving self for the past week, but had been suspiciously quiet that day.
Oh, boy.
The whole day. Just, oh boy. Something's boiling and I can feel
Oh
it.
yeah, and as someone with a
It's building.
manic depressive abusive father, I can tell you that when you don't see them is when there's a problem.
When they're quiet, everybody hides.
How do you want your eggs? I hope it's beaten.
When his father appeared, Merle took young Gigi into the basement and showed him 5 graves that he had spent all day digging. One for Merle, one for Gigi's mother, and 3 for each of the children. And Merle sat Gigi down and told him it was only a matter of time until the graves would be filled one by one with Merle going last.
Oh, my God.
And that kind of shit happened all the time.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah. In an essay titled
This one's yours.
Yeah. No. So I'm going to put you here after I kill you.
I really do hope that he's kind of just matter of fact about it. like he's not like
This one's yours. This
He's
one's
not-
your sister's. This is your mama's.
Your mom's just a little bit bigger.
Dad, I got to do homework. Don't worry about that. Dude, you're not going to need it. You're not going to need
He's
that.
just been. Have you like dug a deep hole before? Like with a shovel? Shit's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
It's not fucking easy.
Oh, you don't fucking say.
Especially
Professional hole digger Grant wants to know your opinion on it.
Today.
Imagine
especially when you get to
digging
that rocky
5
clay.
graves back to back to back.
Yeah.
Dude, that's some insanity.
Yeah, so
And you're in the basement too, and it's the 50s, so you're like sitting down there with like a string bulb light flickering while you're just sitting there with
swinging
enough
bulb light.
Right.
energy and dedication to dig all 5 of them.
probably smoking an entire
Like a whole carton.
carton of
Yeah.
cigarettes.
pack of the pack of haters.
And the smoke's not going.
Right.
Oh, no.
It just fuels the rage.
I'm dizzy and I hate my family.
God damn it, get me a beer.
So in an essay,
Dripping sweat. Yeah, pay attention. Yeah, you're gonna go there. I'll take you there.
Out of breath makes it way less dark.
So in an essay titled "The First 10 Years," Allen wrote that Merle Sr., his dad, wanted to kill his family in a murder-suicide. He, quote, despised pleasure and allowed his family, quote, very little contact with others. They lived a very primitive existence and were more like prisoners than a family. Allen also stated that his mother attempted to escape before she filed for divorce, but Merle Sr. thwarted the attempt by kidnapping Allen. Gigi said that he was glad he experienced such an upbringing and that it made him a warrior soul at an early age.
I mean, I guess that'll do it.
Whether he was traumatized by his
I
tumultuous...
think it just fucked him up.
1,000%, and we'll get into that.
Yeah,
Whether-
this is definitely like the person who was beat the shit as a kid, and it's like, no, I spank my kids. It's good for them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
whether he was traumatized by his tumultuous early years or simply possessed a staunch disregard for the rules, Gigi Allen spent his high school years acting out. Crazy enough, this didn't really start until his sophomore year, when his older brother and some of their mutual friends dosed a donut with acid and gave it to Gigi. Until then, he hadn't tried anything, not even weed or alcohol. The documentary I watched had some of that group from the high school that never left that crap town laughing about it years later. and
Wait.
saying,
They were in high school?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he
And they
was a
dosed him
sophomore
with acid?
Oh, yeah.
Where the fuck are these kids getting acid?
Well, this is also like about late 60s at the
It was
time that this
everywhere.
happening. I mean,
Okay.
literally, the government is giving LSD to prisoners and citizens and like soldiers.
Yeah,
Like it's
try
FBI
this.
agents.
yeah, it's
Not to mention FBI and CIA agents.
yeah, like it's actually it's being disseminated throughout the country by the government. Like it's all over the place, and it's. Listen, I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't want to be too wistful, but this is like experimental CIA acid that we'll never get to experience. This is synthesized by MK Ultra operatives. This is the real shit.
This is like better than Liquid Sunshine that they fabricated.
Yeah.
In San Francisco in the late 60s that fueled a lot of major bands.
Oh yeah.
Most iconically Grateful Dead. Either way,
I feel like Gigi Allen probably got away with a lot of stuff in high school because they like had one parent teacher conference and like, I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
I don't want to meet your dad ever again.
I will literally never send another report card home with you.
that guy is terrifying, and your wife's really sad. But anyways, the documentary I watched that I mentioned earlier, all of that group never left that crap town, and they're laughing about it years later and saying, maybe that's where it all began.
Yeah.
With Gigi Allen. And I was like, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you people? Sorry, Gigi, what's wrong with you people?
You fucking shot that kid out of a cannon right down into the rabbit hole.
Yeah. like we talk about the serial killer soup and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like all the things that make up a serial killer and all that. This is primo stuff. Like
Family trauma, brain injury, not
Oh,
in
yeah.
his case, but a lot of fucking psychotropics.
I'm sure
come on, dude.
I mean, his dad definitely beat the shit out of him, and I'm sure there was some brain
bopped him
trauma
over the head
that
a
they
few
never
times.
they never bothered treating or reporting.
But either way, the rebellious streak started hard. He formed several bands, cross-dressed at school, sold drugs, broke into people's homes, and generally lived life on his own terms. But none of that compared to what was coming next. After graduating from high school in Concord, Vermont in 1975, his mom split and moved them to a different town. G.G. Allin decided not to pursue further education. Instead, he explored the world of music.
Sorry, I'm just deleting my history real quick.
Yeah, don't blame you.
Go ahead.
Allen's earliest musical influence were the 1960s invasion band, Mott the Hoople.
What is it?
Mott the Hoople.
Yeah.
They had one hit.
What is
It
that?
Sounded,
Mott
Mott, M-O-T-T, the Hoople.
Mhm.
Sounded exactly like David Bowie. Their one hit that they ever had. And the Dave Clark 5. And I know that this is something you guys probably don't know about, but it's like a cheesier, lamer version of the Beatles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair read.
Yeah. In the early 1970s, Alice Cooper became a very important influence on Allin. Allin's earliest recorded musical endeavors were as a drummer. He also wrote most of his songs on an acoustic guitar. In his mid-teens, he and his older brother, Merle, who played bass, formed their first band, Little Sisters Date, which lasted a little over a year. The group covered songs by Aerosmith, Kiss, and other pop rock bands of the time period. Both Allin and Merle gained a strong interest in punk rock after that. MC5 and the Stooges were major influences. Before long, he broke onto the scene as a drummer, performed with several groups, and shortly after formed the band Malpractice with his older brother and a local musician, Jeff Penny, and Brian Demures, a high school friend of theirs. Allin played the drums for Malpractice until the band separated in 1977. In 1977, Allin formed a more permanent gig playing the drums and singing backup for a punk rock band, the Jabbers. He soon released his debut album, Always Was, Is, and Always Shall Be, which, by the way, was his favorite thing he ever did.
Yeah.
And it's total garbage.
Yeah, honestly, one of the unfortunate things about G.G. Allin is that like a lot of shitty people really like G.G. Allin. Like they really like see him as like a huge influence on punk and like that he was like, like all about breaking the rules and like, didn't give a fuck about anything. And it would almost be more understandable if he was like Iggy Pop, you know what I mean? Or like The Clash or the Ramones or like a punk band that's like, I get
actually
why
good.
That's actually good.
Yeah.
G.G. Allin sucks at music. He's really bad.
It's not good. dude.
There's literally hundreds of other punk bands you could just listen to instead that do everything he does way better.
Actually, I'll go on the flip over here. I think I want more artists like this. Like I want Kanye level
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
insanity, but but with zero talent.
Yeah. Whereas like they're not even like good producers or anything. Like they just suck at everything they touch.
And just batshit crazy.
Yeah. Did he have a lot of confidence? Like, did he think he was
yeah.
great?
Are you kidding me?
This was one of the most confident motherfuckers on the face of the planet. And I'll tell you guys some stuff later where you're gonna hear about it. But it's like this man literally thought.
I'll wait. I've got an anecdote I want to give, but you may have written about it.
Yeah, this man literally was like, I'm the most important piece of punk rock music to ever exist.
Yes. Yeah, go. Yes. I don't know if I told you this real quick, but like I have a coworker right now. He's misogynistic. He's racist. He's extremely toxic. All the women at work hate him, and
So he's got it going on.
I love working with him.
I'm sure you do.
Everyone hates working with him except me. Yeah, I feed in. My toxic trait is that the more toxic a person is, the more I'm like, I want to be your friend.
I feel like you just kind of push him in a direction to see which, to see what kind of destructive path he takes.
Hey, what do you think about the Mexicans?
Don't even,
Dude,
get me started.
he confides in me because like I joke with him, I laugh with him, talk to him, so he confides in me, and he's told me some like disturbing stuff.
I'm sure.
One thing is he doesn't believe blacks and whites should mix. He was an ex-Marine, and he was talking about.
Of course, he was an ex-Marine.
Yeah, he was talking about how like
Oh, so he's fucked up.
extremely fucked up.
Yeah.
That's a lot of PTSD. Baby.
Dude, he talks about like how he wants to bang like all these girls and he gets their numbers and and like smashes a different girl like every week. But he's got like a girlfriend. I think he's secretly gay personally, but that's the running theory at work at least.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully Gigi Allen can match this.
Well, so this band was doing okay, but Allen was causing tension in the band due to his constant refusal to compromise with him. He ultimately left the group in 1984. The 1980s, Allen again found himself hopping from band to band.
Why does no one want my xylophones?
He appeared with groups like the Cedar Street Sluts, the Scumfucks, and the Texas Nazis.
I feel like I was really close when we were doing names back in the
Oh yeah. That's why we were talking about, because like as disgusting as you think a name might be, it's
There's only worse.
yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
he toured with a band called the Scumfucks and the Texas Nazis.
That's the one I'm hung up on.
I was about to say the Texas Nazis doesn't even feel like
That's a hat on a hat. Like, what are you doing? Like, you want a little bit of like,
But I mean, a hat on a hat,
variety.
hat on a hat, punk rock. You know,
fair.
you know,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's fair.
right? It's like a kid wearing a beanie over a baseball cap.
But he managed to garner.
Yeah,
a
I've seen that.
He managed to garner a reputation as a hardcore underground rocker. After a particularly wild performance with the Cedar Street Sluts in Manchester, New Hampshire, Allen gained a new nickname, the Madman of Manchester. But in '85, Allen decided to take his Madman title to a whole new level. While performing a show with Bloody Mess and the Scabs in Peoria, Illinois,
So on the nose.
he defecated on stage for his first time in front of hundreds of people. Unbeknownst to the crowd, the act was entirely premeditated. Here's a quote from the guy that
He practiced.
a guy,
Dude. Yeah.
so a guy in another band that's playing that
eats the same
show.
thing every day, so he knows what type of shit is going to go
I got
down.
it timed out to the same.
No. This is better. A guy that was playing in another band, same show. They were hanging out that day. I was with him when he bought the X-Lax. Recalled Bloody Mess, the band's frontman. Unfortunately, he ate it hours before the show, so he constantly had to hold it in, or he would have shit before he got on stage. After he shit on stage, complete chaos broke out in the hall. Bloody Mess continued. All of the old men in charge of the hall went fucking nuts. Hundreds of confused punk kids were flipping out, running out the door because the smell was incredible.
Why does it make it sound like a good thing?
The guy's name is Bloody Mess. He loved it.
He's about it, dude.
I'm actually really impressed.
The reaction was evidently the one that Gigi Allen was going for, as defecation soon became a regular part of his stage act.
Not only did it become a regular part of his stage act, but it would get worse.
You remember Stefan from SNL?
Yeah.
And like I just imagine Stefan talking to me about this guy. He's like, and at the very end of the show, he shits all over the stage.
Yeah, hang on. Is this at the bit? Like, is he doing it? Middle of the.
I was gonna say,
show?
I hope he's the closer.
Oh no, this is like often the opener.
God damn it!
Here, listen. I got here. Listen.
If I was following up that act, I would be so pissed.
So you guys aren't going to clean this up, huh?
So I have a story about how it gets worse.
I imagine Austin and I are there. Like, how could it get worse? Tell me how it could get worse.
Oh, I'm about to tell you. So it's funny because Gigi Allen he was really huge into the punk scene, right? Like he was always there. He never did anything besides like play music, do drugs, and hang out with people, right? So he ran into a lot of different people who were in the punk scene.
Yeah, I mean, he literally had like one change of clothes and a fucking backpack.
Yeah, that was it.
He lauded that. He was so proud of the fact that he can like pick up and go anywhere, anytime he wants to.
Mm-hmm. And at one of his earlier shows, NoFX's Fat Mike and the Dead Kennedys' Jello Biafra were actually there.
Which are big fucking deals.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I know the Dead Kennedys.
Mm-hmm. Dead Kennedys are great. NoFX is all right.
I mean, they were a big deal.
They were a big deal for a while, and they have some great stuff. But in Fat Mike's own words, the band started playing, and as soon as Gigi took the stage, he took this shit that came out like water, and it hit the floor and pooled in a circle. He got down on his knees, sucked it up, and spit it into the crowd.
Give me a bucket. Dude, if this makes me vomit, I'm gonna be so pissed. What? I feel like this is going to.
Fat Mike continues. I was behind Jello, so I grabbed onto him and used him as a human shield to guard myself. I would say at least half of the crowd left right then. 10 people threw up and went into the other room. So now Gigi and his band were playing and everyone's 10 feet back. That was the first song.
That's his intro material.
But hold on.
His intro is the outro, I guess.
Very good. Listen to this. Fat Mike continues. Now there was more room, so he threw a bunch of glass on the floor and began to roll in it. He grabbed this blonde girl from the audience and was just on top of her. She was just screaming. It wasn't fun, it wasn't consensual, but nobody wanted to touch him. Eventually, people were sick of it and tried to pull him off of her, but there was blood, shit, and glass everywhere.
I hate the word eventually in that sentence.
Because it went on for at least a song's length.
Oh, God.
That's the worst adjective.
So they finally get him off, and he went around the audience and just started hitting people with the base of the mic stand. Then a girl who was into it came on stage, and he just kicked her in the fucking face, right in the jaw. She went home with him that night after he went to the hospital.
Is that a fact? Like, hang on.
What?
Can someone prove that to me?
I don't know. I don't know how much you can. I can't prove it. But
You're telling me this guy fucking sucks up a mouthful of shit, spits it all over the crowd, breaks glass, rolls on it, sexually assaults a woman.
Yep.
Starts punching people in the face with a mic stand, and then gets back on stage. Some hoe is like, I want that guy's penis inside of me.
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah.
And then gets up on stage only to get kicked in the face. Goes to the hospital.
With Gigi.
Still wants to have sex with him.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy.
How the fuck am I still single?
Right? I don't know. You're actually a really nice guy. I have no clue.
You're great, Austin. It's everybody else's problem.
I do pick the worst, don't I?
No. I think Gigi Allen is saving you because you don't want that woman in your life. You know what I mean?
Fucking speak for yourself, guy.
This is a ride or die lady.
He also started incorporating blood into his performances by
Naturally.
cutting himself, pouring it onto his body, and spraying it across the stage and into the audience.
How long was this band's set list? Because I feel like
Normally, honestly,
They had 3 songs.
that's what I'm thinking.
It was
How
shut
long
down.
could this go for?
Very often it was shut down.
Oh yeah,
before they could.
They never
finish a
really.
set.
If I'm thinking correctly, they very rarely ever actually played a whole set.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because it would inevitably the people who owned the club or the place where they were playing would be like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
We're shutting this shit down."
So that was a little out of hand.
I mean, this was like virtually how every Gigi Allen show went. This was his shtick.
How does he keep getting shows?
Also, do we know for a fact he knew how to play any instruments? Because this seems like an SNL skit for a guy to avoid playing an instrument.
It does, doesn't it?
Actually, I don't know. Nobody really ever commented on how he was as a drummer.
No.
I've seen him playing like acoustic guitar and trying to sing, and it's like, oh, that's how that song's supposed to sound. It still sucks a lot because when they were actually playing, the drummer in the main band that he played with was always naked. It was, what was his name? Naked Johnny.
I think it was Shit Dick Johnny Boy.
It was like literally his first name, stage name was Naked.
Yeah.
I can't remember his actual name.
Naked guy.
It was like Naked Johnny. Or
I think it
some shit.
was Naked Johnny.
And that motherfucker was fucking batshit. I saw some interviews with him, and he like never looked at the interviewer or the camera. His eyes were like always up, scanning the ceiling and stuff.
He's got a real bad case of meth eyes.
And he went on these weird tangents that made no fucking sense. The only time he ever was really coherent was why he was naked on stage. Apparently, clothes rubbed his skin wrong and gave him rashes.
But not sitting on the stool.
All right.
No,
I was
no.
gonna say.
He said his naked ass on the drum throne felt fine. But if he wore pants or underwear, it bothered
Wasn't
his
okay?
skin. Yeah.
He reminds me of the benchwarmers kid who eats sunblock.
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Although I will have to say, back when I owned a pair of drums, when my parents were out of the house, I absolutely fucking rocked on that thing butt ass naked.
I've done that
It's
too.
actually really
Yeah,
fun.
that's fine.
But I mean, could you
Really
imagine
fun.
doing an entire tour? Like literally every night you're
Sure.
in the green room,
Yeah,
you
actually-
take your
actually, yeah.
clothes off and you sit down behind the kit naked.
I don't think I could do the entire like going from gig to gig butt ass naked, but I could definitely get up on stage butt ass naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about if you're
Hell.
getting sprayed with shit and blood?
Hell, my last girlfriend broke up with me for it.
That's true.
That's true. Damn, Austin, you're punk rock.
Dude, I so am.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wowzers.
I still think it's hilarious for all the listeners that are new. I wrote it, and I made Austin say racial slurs. That
important
didn't
to
bother
know,
her. That did not bother her.
Not at all. Who my ex girlfriend was Mexican.
Yeah.
No, getting up on stage in my underwear was.
But that's the line.
that was the
you crossed that
that was
line
the
in
straw that
sand.
broke the camel's back.
It was the coin purse, not the slur.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Crazy.
keep going, please.
This isn't your font, dog.
Okay, fine. I'll read your line then.
What
This
you
is
talking-
virtually how every
I already
GC
said
Allen
it.
show went.
I already said that.
I don't remember that. Well, naturally, the destructive nature of his sets often results in venues and equipment companies severing ties with Allen. Police were sometimes called, especially when Allen began jumping into crowds and onto his fans. Several female concert goers claimed that he sexually assaulted them after the shows, and some alleged that he attacked them during his sets, which is no
we
surprise at all. That
have
Allen
evidence of
Yeah.
him just
There
attacking
quite
the
literally
crowd.
is the old school grainy,
Mm-hmm.
is this late 80s, early 90s?
Yeah, so it's probably like a Japanese camcorder
Oh,
type
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's some grainy footage of this actually fucking happening. It's no surprise at all that Allen found himself in and out of jail for various crimes, but perhaps the most serious stint was in 1989 when he was sentenced to prison for assault. He admitted to cutting and burning a woman and drinking her blood. He served.
This is just Tuesday.
Yeah, it was
For him, it was.
pretty
Yeah.
much. He served 15 months in prison for that crime. The woman he assaulted had simply approached him at a bar after recognizing him and wanted to ask questions
Oh my
about
God,
his
Gigi.
performance. Yeah. Gigi, why are you always naked and shit and spew your own diarrhea? You want to know why?
Now, I hate to victim blame, but
Oh god.
Oh my God.
Go on.
Here we go.
This is Jamie.
I'm not saying anything. This part's Jamie.
but just going up to Gigi Allen, I feel like
It's risky.
that's a
If you recognize it as Gigi Allen and you approach him, I kind of see what you're saying. There's
Yeah.
a little bit of like, maybe just ignore him.
yeah.
Or go to a different bar.
Yeah, and then maybe not wear your skirt so high.
Okay, that was
That was
Austin.
Austin.
No, that was Jamie.
I was saying more along the lines of like, what did she have to say? It's like, I hear you are hitting women and they are falling for you. Like,
So, eyewitnesses said that he burnt her in the face with a cigarette,
God.
grabbed her, and threw her across the room into some tables and chairs. Then he rushed her. That's when she was cut, and he evidently drank some of her blood.
Yeah, this was also not the first recorded instance of him burning and almost ritually cutting a woman. There's a woman who actually, this is going to hurt Austin, wanted to marry Gigi Allen so badly. So badly that in order to get Gigi to promise to marry her, she offered to let him and all of his bandmates come on her at the same time. Now, the other members of the band apparently didn't have a problem just narding on her. Mm-hmm. They were in a hotel room all together. Mm-hmm. Gigi, for whatever reason, gets bored with the whole thing, doesn't want to come on her, and instead ties her to the bed, promises that he's going to come on her and do all this stuff, right? And instead he just starts cutting her with a knife and burning her with cigarettes for hours.
That doesn't make me feel too bad.
Good.
Gigi, by his own admission, was in jail over 50 times, and it's no real surprise why. He made a living, sort of, out of assaulting and attacking people. And kind of like Grant said, is that he had very few possessions, right? This was like OG crust punk, like just running in the road dog lifestyle.
Yeah.
But out of his few possessions, his favorite was a World War II black Nazi helmet. For real Nazi soldier helmet. And he wore it constantly. He even wears it on one of his few televised appearances on the Jane Whitney show, which is...
Was he clothed?
He is not wearing a shirt.
Right.
He is wearing some very tiny biker shorts.
Yeah.
Combat
he's got
boots,
his jacket on.
and his jacket.
Yeah, he's got
And
one
his
leather
Nazi
jacket
helmet.
that he loves.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Jane Whitney is an older show, kind of in the vein of Oprah, Dr. Phil, and Jerry Springer. Mm. And if anyone has the stomach to watch it, I highly recommend it for so many reasons. Gigi appears on screen with two 17-year-old girls who call him Daddy and their God. These are two 17-year-old girls, by the way, that Gigi Allen claims to have legally adopted so that he can raise them right, outside of the school system, away from the government, and away from anyone who would try to teach them anything that Gigi doesn't want them to know.
Can I guess that he opens with that?
Yeah, literally, almost the first thing he says is that I am coming for your children, and that these two are my children. These two, and these two are like, they're girls. Like, you look at them and you see, like, you can tell they're 17 years old, right? They look like young teenagers, and they're talking about how we don't need anybody else. Gigi is our God. Gigi is our daddy, and they talk about like, it's so awful. But they talk about how they watch their daddy masturbate for them and that they masturbate for their daddy.
On TV?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is on
yeah.
television.
This is a 45-minute video that is very hard to get through.
Very watchable.
Very watchable, but...
i.e., you can find it.
It's very... Yeah.
Isn't there a cop nearby that can just be like, I'm pretty sure that's illegal?
This was like daytime TV in the 80s, so it was kind of like loosey-goosey with that stuff.
This aired during the day?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just some kid that just like got the flu and he's like, didn't go to school.
Put the thermometer on the radiator.
Basically, it goes from Price is Right to this garbage. You know?
Literally, though.
No, Mom, I'm real sick. I can't make it to school today.
These two girls, they claim that there will be another Holocaust and that Gigi will be the one to lead it.
Drops the spoon in his Cheerios.
Gigi claims he's legally adopted both of these girls, and they watch him masturbate, watch him shoot heroin, and he teaches them how to be stronger than, quote, any school or government could make them.
Gigi Allen doesn't seem the kind of guy to do legal paperwork, so I have a hard time believing that he's...
That's the thing. I cannot literally imagine Gigi Allen filling out any kind of paperwork, let alone going through an adoption process.
I was going to say, I'm going to raise these two kids to avoid the government.
Yeah. If
First
you guys
of-
remember my Jerry Lee Lewis episode, his
I can't imagine him going to the DMV.
inability
Right.
to
Let alone
actually
doing adoption
fill out a
paperwork.
document is far surpassing of Jerry Lee Lewis.
Actually, you know, it'd be sick if Gigi Allen did a show at a DMV.
So just
They would
the
never
DMV.
allow it.
There'd be just too much human misery.
They would never allow it.
Ding! A7.
It's a truly exhausting watch. The crowds of people are exactly what you'd expect in a daytime talk show audience, and they alternate between horrified gasps and openly laughing in Gigi's face at his outrageous claims. He talks about how beautiful and self-taught he is and all of his hard-won wisdom. My personal favorite moment is when Gigi Allen tells the audience that he will come for their children, that he will be the one to lead the revolution against the corporate media and corporate mainstream rock and roll, all while leading legions of children to sex, drugs, and eventual suicide. He tells them that he's the boogeyman and the darkest human being to ever walk the earth. And there's a pause, and Jane Whitney asks Gigi, then why haven't I heard of you? And man, I'll tell you, to watch this smug piece of shit finally lose his train of thought in his stupid fucking Nazi helmet dip as he finally has nothing to say to someone. God, it does a heart good.
How come I've never heard of you?
Who are you again?
You remember that this is before, because he's like kind of losing his shit by this point. He's like really going for it. But before that, he was on Rodriguez, he had a talk show, and then he went on to be like a field reporter.
Are you talking about Geraldo?
Thank you.
Riviera or
Yeah,
whatever?
Geraldo
Yeah, the mustache
Riviera.
dude. Yeah. I forget Geraldo had a talk show.
Yeah, he had a talk show, and Gigi was on that talk show. Very similar thing, just shirtless, leather jacket, just saying that he's basically the next punk rock messiah.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to people in the audience, either like shocked, confused, or just laughing at him.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And he seems unfazed by it.
Yeah, pretty much through all of it. I mean, like you talk about confidence and everything, is that Gigi Allen like is almost unflappable. For worse, not better.
Bad shit. It's bad shit, baby.
Just to clarify, for worse.
Yeah, just to clarify, not for better or worse, for worse.
Listener, we're going to soon get ourselves on video, but you just missed the best, like, eye-opening experience from Joseph. Just eyes for worse.
For worse, I just want to let you know. As we talked about, Gigi was in jail over 50 times. One of those times was after failing to convince a Milwaukee judge that shitting on stage was a time-honored artistic tradition of scatology and protected under the Constitution under personal expression. The judge did not buy it for even a second.
Nope.
That was probably the
Well,
quickest.
son, I'd say you're full of shit.
Not anymore.
The judge did not buy it for a second. Fastest sentencing time in that entire court's history.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah, that's right.
In jail, Gigi would often fill his time jerking off. By his own count,
Imagine it didn't take long.
he was in jail for 30 days. It didn't. And he, by his own count, masturbated more than 100 times in that 30-day span.
I mean, when you got such a tiny wiener, I feel like you just kind of rapid fire those things.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
He loved jerking off. He would talk about fist fucking, and he would openly talk about how much he loved jerking off more than any kind of sex.
Yeah.
He would jerk off until, quote, my cock had a blister on it and was seeping blood as I came.
Remember when you were like 15?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, now I know how not to do that.
15 guys to a room. He's got one corner.
Oh, dude.
And the other 14 guys on the opposite side of the
Yeah.
room.
And he's just sitting there pulling his pud, fucking coming in the corner.
You know, just with like a thumb and his forefinger.
Oh, yeah. Just fucking flicking the bean. Funny enough, one of those times while he was in jail, he was visited by two teenaged fans, one from the Northwest and one from Kansas City, two future rockers. They were named Kurt and Wayne. They were desperate to meet him, and they showed him samples of their own music. Kurt told him about his band, Nirvana, while Wayne talked about his own band, The Flaming Lips.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of sick.
Right?
Kurt Cobain and Wayne Coyne.
That's right.
Come
You know what?
on.
Right?
That's insane.
They also were smart enough to meet him in the best possible way. With a huge bulletproof glass pane in
Yes.
between.
Because while they were huge fans of Gigi Allen for whatever reason, they also were smart enough to put some walls, but a little bit of barrier.
So now that I got you, might answer a few questions for me.
They go to visit their
Just stroking it to answering questions.
well, it might have been better if he had because
They got at the same time.
yeah, they were there together.
That's right. Okay, cool.
And Gigi was having none of it. He told them to get the fuck out of there, spat at them, and told them they looked like a couple of, quote, Kansas City faggots who just wanted their dick sucked.
Yes, I was about to say he definitely called them the F-bombs. I'm in his head. I know this guy.
This is a guy who Jamie would work with in the shittiest bar possible. And he'd be like, this guy's awesome.
Dude, everybody shut up and listen to what this
guy's real
motherfucker.
Dude, he is costing me so much money.
Yeah. I haven't gotten a tip in 6 months.
But it
I
is well
fucking
worth
love
it.
him.
Now, Gigi Allen's biggest promise to his fans was that one day he would kill himself on stage. And each year, he promised to do it on Halloween. However, he was always in jail, conveniently, on Halloween.
Oh.
Now,
Which, real quick, to be fair, how he played shows, how he operated, his fucking spoken word events
Spoken
that
word,
he did, where he just, it's just him alone, and he was naked and ranting into a microphone. This one time at college.
no, literally. It's
yeah.
That's me in the mirror every day.
yeah.
Well, imagine 20 weirded out fucking college students. Because one time at like New York State University, he just walks on to a microphone naked and then starts trying to shove a banana up his ass, unpeeled, and then starts throwing it at him and then demands that
See, that's
people...
bullshit. I feel like it'd be a lot harder if it was peeled.
Yep.
Pussy.
Took the easy way out.
Welcome to the NSU open mic. Next to the stage, Gigi Allen.
and then demanded that people put an article of clothing on the stage for he wanted people to strip. Basically get as naked as him. Nobody did it, so he just took a chair and threw it at a random girl. I'm assuming the girl's boyfriend came up to be like, what the fuck are you doing? He started beating the fuck out of this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mind you, again, he's naked.
Yeah.
Just combat. boots.
Chiclet flicking in the air.
People start leaving, and then fucking university security comes in immediately and starts
They're like,
shutting
what the
it down.
fuck is going on?
His dumb shit fucking sound engineer guy was like, well, I don't know what's going on. And the guy that was filming this whole thing in the documentary just bails.
He just decides I've had enough.
Can you imagine watching some guy get butt ass naked up on stage and you're in that audience like, well, let's hear him out.
Well, it is performance art.
Oh, he's got a banana. Oh, he's peeling.
Okay.
Oh, he's shoving it up his ass. He's now throwing the banana up his ass at me.
Bold.
Okay.
And now he's throwing a chair.
Okay. So, okay, sorry. That was thank you, Grant.
They're all.
We've all seen the movie The Mummy. One of
Yeah.
my favorite moments in The Mummy is when Brendan Fraser's character throws a chair at his buddy Benny,
I love
and
it
then
so much.
Spring
Yeah.
cleaning?
and the guy goes, "Nice shot." And ever since then, I've always wanted to throw a chair like that.
Right.
And I love when people throw chairs, from Morgan Wallen to Gigi
Waffle
Allen.
House. Yeah.
To your average everyday Waffle House experience. Oh, all right, guys.
Hey, Biddy.
My point of that. Yes, conveniently he is in jail on Halloween for like 3 years straight
Yeah,
because he was talking about killing himself
for
on
a while.
stage
Yeah.
on Halloween, and all of his fans and the bandmates, which includes his fucking brother, were like, "Yeah, we'll probably do it.
Yep.
That's just Gigi. I mean, if he's gonna say he's gonna do something, he's probably gonna do it." And I'm like, "Dude, you're his fucking brother.
His
Maybe
older
take
brother.
him to therapy."
Yeah.
But either
There's
way,
no therapist that would take him on.
No.
fair.
The last therapist killed himself.
But either way, my entire point is, yes, it was convenient, but honestly, he was just in jail.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think Gigi Allen is smart enough to plan this out.
No. He's just doing his thing, getting arrested.
So,
What was his longest stint? You said it was 1.5 years.
Yeah.
yeah.
How did he dodge like less serious convictions?
I think honestly, most of the time the judges just wanted him out of their courtroom.
Yeah.
And also because, he would usually get trumped up on it would be like assault charges or disturbing the peace. And most of the time it was he'd get booked on low grade stuff. And I think it was honestly, it was a lot of just shunting him in and out of the jails kind of thing. Because the dude doesn't have any real personal possessions besides his Nazi helmet and his boots. You know what I mean? He doesn't care. You know what I mean? This was a guy who actually to Grant's point, he was in jail so many times, but he also talked openly about how jail made him a better person.
Yeah.
Not because of rehabilitation, but because it made him more animalistic, quote unquote. It made him more depraved. It made him tougher. It made him scarier, yada, yada, yada.
You might know this. I don't know. But I think it's relatively new that all the states actually talk to each other about
There was a lot of that too, because they go state to state.
Yeah.
Often. They're always traveling.
He was on the road all the time.
Right. So he'd be in some, Maricopa County jail for 15 days or whatever. And they'd be like, all right, get this fucking weird masturbating turd eater out of here.
Yeah, for real.
And then they'd just go to the next show. And then he'd get arrested and they'd be in Syracuse or whatever. And they'd be like, well, fuck, just, throw him in for a month or whatever. And then they just take him and go to the next one. It was constant.
Did they say how they did an actual tour? Because if they're constantly having to wait on him, how did that work?
It was a lot of word of mouth fanzine type stuff. And what they would do is when Gigi Allen would get arrested is they were just gutter punks. So they would just go and start they'd work at a hardware store or pick up trash or just do odd jobs or just sell drugs or whatever, or just go fishing in dumpsters for food.
Or they'd be able back to wherever the fuck they came from the first time.
Yeah.
Where they're staying. And then he'd get out and come find them. And then they'd hit the road again. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, weird to us, but
that was them.
Pretty goddamn punk.
It was I hate to say it, but it was very punk. It was very homeward bound in the disgusting version. Yeah.
The disgusting to his due.
Shut
up.
All right.
Don't ruin that movie for me.
I'm sorry. I didn't like the metaphor either. Let's talk about Gigi's final show. New York, 1993. Gigi, dressed in combat boots, women's panties, and a dog collar, pushed his way through the crowd at the gas station and made his way on stage. He immediately bashed himself in the face with the mic stand, splitting the skin on his skull and gushing blood onto the stage. The crowd goes apeshit. The band goes straight into Shoot, Knife, Strangle, Beat, and Crucify, the band's signature song.
That's their banger.
Yeah, that's their if we're performing at the Super Bowl, this is the song we'll play.
And you've listened to it?
It sucks.
It's
Grant?
It's really
not
bad.
Good. It's not good. I promise.
And when they started playing, Gigi immediately pounced on the nearest audience member, swinging his fist into the side of the man's head. And when the man fought back, Gigi skipped to another person, and then rinse, wash, repeat. Same thing, just jumping from person to person, attacking them. After one song, the crowd had had enough. They leave in droves, while the club owner literally pulls the plug on the band. Gigi, this is a show that had been set up with word of mouth and fanzines. A lot of these people are here because it's Gigi Allen, right?
Yeah.
They want to see the spectacle. And after one song, they're like, all right, fuck it, I can't do this. So Gigi screams after his fans, calling them pussies and posers and following after them, desperate for their attention and validation. Eventually, Gigi hears cop sirens and knows that he's about to get his ass busted if he doesn't flee. For all of his talk about how jail could never break him and only made him stronger, he knew that if he didn't have the balls to kill himself on stage or otherwise, he'd only end up back in jail, and he couldn't go through that again. So Gigi makes his way onto the street. He's chasing after his fans. They're ignoring him. Gigi eventually strips naked and throws himself in front of a bus. But the driver managed to stop in time.
Shit!
So now Gigi gets up, puts back on his panties and his jacket, and tries to make his way down the street. The cop sirens are getting closer. Gigi tries to casually blend in with the traffic, the foot traffic. Only, it's really hard to blend in when you're a 6-foot bald dude with a giant handlebar mustache, wearing only combat boots, women's panties, and covered in equal parts blood and shit.
Hang on, did he shit on this?
Oh
stage?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah. It goes without saying he was shitting on
It's his
stage.
MO.
too.
Anytime
Sorry.
he's gone stage, shit happens.
I should specify.
Literally.
If you picture Gigi Allen performing, there's shitting on stage. He does it every time.
Every single time since when I first mentioned how he started.
Yep.
No curveballs in his show. Not one.
Nope. It's his thing.
Austin is massaging his temples right now.
I don't know why.
I don't know what you're not loving. So Gigi's trying and failing to blend into the foot traffic. And worse, a small group of punk rockers has now started following Gigi and won't leave him alone. They're harassing him. They're jeering at him. They're calling out to him, being like, "Aren't you going to kill yourself, Gigi?"
Yeah, this is the show that he's supposed to kill himself.
Yeah.
Gigi pleads for them to stop following him, only they won't because they're his fans. They came here for the madness. And more than that, these fellow nihilistic leeches want blood. They want to watch Gigi kill himself, and they won't leave until Gigi makes good on his promise. So Gigi runs away from them, eventually hails a taxi. The kids catch up with him. When Gigi gets into the cab, a couple of kids follow in, just immediately just dive into the cab. The driver ditches his own cab to get away from them.
Fuck this shit.
Real quick, could you imagine
A
being
New
the
York
cab
City
driver
cab
to
driver.
stop for that?
Yeah.
No.
I've seen worse.
Yeah, that's the thing. An NYC cab driver stops and he gets so rattled he abandons his cab.
That's incredible.
He threatens them. He tells them he's going to call the cops and he's going to watch them all get shot in the street like rabid dogs. Eventually,
The cab driver says that?
the cab driver says that he's going to watch the cops shoot all these kids.
Yeah.
Eventually, Gigi manages to get off the streets and into his friend's apartment. His friend is named Johnny Puke.
You will not believe the day I had.
So I'm in women's panties. I'm going to kill myself on stage. The cab driver freaks out.
Gigi managed to save himself from jail, but not from his own stupid self-destruction. For all of Gigi's talk about being a messiah, about leading a glorious death cult of children through an unholy war, the only thing he was able to lead himself to was a piss and shit-soaked overdose on Johnny Puke's scuffed and dirty floor. Later that night.
Yep, died of a heroin overdose. I think he may have strangled in his own vomit. If I remember right.
Yeah, and
The classic, like on the back, you passed out.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, I also read this article.
Classic.
Unfortunately,
Classic.
it is, yeah.
Well, that's the thing is he talks about how big and bad he was, and he talks about how he was, rock and roll messiah and essentially the Antichrist, and he died a cliched death. He died
he did get hit by a bus, so
no,
he didn't
the
get
bus
hit by a
driver
bus.
stopped.
He stopped in time. Yeah.
he was not hit by a bus.
Didn't
was not
touch
hit
him at
by a
all.
bus.
So he jumped in front of the bus.
Try and
Naked.
kill himself.
And the
Naked.
bus
Oh, hey.
Yeah, the bus driver was like, "Whoa, that's a naked guy with a tiny penis." Screek.
I feel like the bus driver was already slowing down. Because
Like he saw the guy.
Well, he's coming up to a stop.
Right.
Yeah, and Gigi throws himself in front of the guy's just like, "Fuck are you doing? You get on the ramp." Grant, I think this final statement is yours.
Yeah. So I'm gonna cover our final statements on this. So I've thought a lot about this guy over the last few days when we wrote this.
I don't ever want to think about him ever again.
Yeah, same. And it was weird. I thought about him a lot, and then I put it out of my memory. But there is something to respect about the sheer abandon in which he lived his life. Only owned the clothes on his back and a beat-up acoustic. The only thing that ended tours for his band was getting arrested. And often they dipped out for those towns before or while being pursued by the police. Like they would literally bail from the town they were playing in just to evade the police. You could say a lot about him. And the main thing is that he was one of the most truly punk people that stepped on stage. Did he take it too far? Hell fucking yes. Was he a reflection of the violence and indifference of modern society while able to collect the jaded and rejected and misunderstood minority of that time? For sure. But did he really know he was making that connection in an artistic way? Or was he intentionally performing like that to shed a light on the dark corners of society that we unintentionally created? I really fucking doubt that. I think he was a slightly intelligent, super lost, and angry dude that said if he wasn't doing what he was doing, he actually said this, he would probably be a mass murderer or would have killed himself a long time ago.
Ah, see?
Yep.
It's
Who
either
was-
this or Third Reich.
Who
Yep.
was friends, like literally pen pals with
John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy said, pretty cool dude.
Which, if that's not a fucking stunning review right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
but
things
I
considered.
honestly think that sums him up. You know?
It sounds like music was his therapy, and you can hate on what he did, but this is
It's better than him killing a whole bunch of people.
empirically speaking,
Yeah.
it's better than him
Yeah.
killing anybody.
I know. It's weird. Like, again, it kind of trips me out to be like, okay, I kind of get it, but ew. But also, it's better.
Well,
I don't know. What do you got, Joey?
for my final statement, Grant, I know you're on the fence about G.G. Allen, and that's mostly because he likes bestiality. We also can't go. I don't know. First I'm hearing about you dismissing it. And as you guys know, we can't go one podcast session without Grant shitting on the floor and slurping it back up to spit at us. Which I'm getting real sick of him doing, by the way.
By the way, guys, this all happens off air.
Yeah, you guys never hear it, but
But we still smell it.
we still smell it. This is a thick carpet, and it has a memory. But to me, G.G. Allen is really nothing more than the worst parts of punk rock distilled into one untalented dickhead burnout who other burnouts think is punk rock. Because to them, not giving a shit about yourself or others makes you cool. And to me, that just means you're too emotionally stunted to develop into a real person. G.G. Allen claimed to be the punk rock messiah, an outsider who preached sermons of mutilation and destruction, serving his apostles with a bastardized communion of runny shit and bloody scabs in places of wine and wafers.
That's good.
Thank you.
Good.
I agree with Joseph.
Yeah, me too, actually.
But in reality, the thing that he has most in common with Jesus Christ is the sheer amount of self-aggrandizing and self-serving bullshit in how people interpreted his behavior and teachings. To me, people can make excuses for Gigi and claim that he carried the traumatic burden of his father's madness, or that he was flouting society's expectations of corporate rock and roll sellouts. But nothing excuses ultimately his multiple assaults, his rapes, and his constant abuse of everyone who came within arm's reach.
Hang on, rapes?
Oh, yeah. Lots of sexual assaults.
You don't wait. We just went over.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Hang on, he raped women?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
sexually assaulted dozens of people.
I mean,
He jumped on.
absolutely rape, but
He
I don't
jumped
really
on
know
top
if it
of a
was like-
woman during a
Yeah.
show, butt ass naked and covered in his own shit.
And that was on stage. There's
Yeah.
a lot of shit that like we don't know about and gets whispered about and talked about at the edges of a lot of like journalistic like articles about it, about things that happened behind stage or behind like dumpsters or like out on the streets.
That's not punk rock.
No, it isn't. And to me, just because thank you, Jamie. That was Jamie. Anti-rape.
Hot take. Bad.
Just because you've been hurt doesn't give you license to hurt others. And if you're fed up with society's bullshit and corp rock sellouts like Guns N' Roses and AC/DC, well, then congrats on being a teenager. Because if you like G.G. Allen, to me, that means you've never really grown out of the nihilistic edgelord teenager phase. And in G.G. Allen's final moments, curled on the floor of Johnny Puke's apartment in New York, As his eyes faded and his body finally succumbed to the boatload of heroin coursing through him, he died a poser's death, leaving behind a shit-streaked legacy of assaults, bad memories, and stories for other burnouts to tell each other while sipping PBRs and reminiscing about the good old days.
Beautiful.
And that, my friends, is G.G. Allen.
Are there any accounts from like any of the other like jail inmates?
Pretty much everyone who was in jail with G.G. Allen fucking hated his guts because he was constantly jerking his gherkin and just being just a fucking hassle to be around. He never really stopped talking, and mostly he never really stopped talking about himself. And so people would either just be like they would like get into fights with him to basically shut him up. But the thing about Gigi was that he wanted to fight and he wanted to make himself miserable.
How did nobody kill him?
That
baffling.
seriously,
How did nobody
no,
kill him?
it is straight. I think we talked about that a little bit.
Especially the part where he like, if somebody were to throw a chair at my girlfriend, I would kill him.
Yeah. It's
Like-
true. Like there are certain people that go through life that when you meet them, that you're just like, how have you not been fucking stabbed to death?
Right.
Yeah.
And like G.G. Allen, literally, like it's
that
crazy
guy.
to me that no one
I know.
just shot this dude or shanked him.
Actually, it sounds
What's
like
crazier yet is that they idolized him.
Yeah.
You know?
It sounds like he picked this fight each time. Like he's hitting women because he's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's part of it. And
Yeah.
he also, I really do think that it's hard to properly convey unless like, I seriously watch the video I recommended. You maybe only get through a few minutes of it, but it's hard to properly convey how deluded and self-deluded and annoying G.G. Allen
No, he
really was.
Yeah.
If you take away the shock rock veneer of like, I'm going to run another Holocaust and I'm fuck kids and kids want to fuck me and blah, blah, blah. If you kind of like get past, if you can just listen to that and kind of filter out the like, okay, he's saying things to purposely upset me, is he's not really saying anything. He's just talking about himself constantly and he has no substance. Like he's really just annoying as shit. And I think most people in jail that could have killed him, he probably avoided and or were just like, I just don't even want to be near this shit covered motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather not even get near
I think
him.
it's that moment of you're like, it's not fucking worth it.
Yeah, where you're
You know
just
what I
like,
mean? Yeah.
this fucking rabid dog's gonna bite my nose or something off,
Yeah.
and then like it's like, or I'm gonna get a sepsis from his shitty fingernails scratching my face.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares? I'll just ignore
Yeah,
it.
you don't think about the sepsis.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking there was like some giant dude, and his name was Big Blue, and Big Blue's like, if you sit next to me,
He's a
I'm
lifer.
going to stab you.
Yeah.
I'll stab you to death. And he's
Big
like,
Blue's a lifer, and Gigi probably avoided him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gigi was just like, yeah, you're right. I should probably leave you alone. He's like, okay, good.
Yeah, and most of the time also he was held in like county jails and like short-term facilities.
Yeah.
So he didn't really come into contact very often with people who were like, to your point, like serving life or people who were like actually dangerous. Like he's probably serving with other people who are like in holding tanks or waiting for summons to court or, you know, also got into fist fights. You know what I mean? Like lower grade stuff like that.
I can see that.
I don't know. I just feel like I would have shot him at one point.
It's crazy no one did.
He was begging for it. is
He
what it
really
sounds like.
was.
Yeah. No,
It
I
sounds
mean,
like.
say whatever you want, but this was a man who wanted to die.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did he leave a note or anything, or did he say anything? Like,
No,
as like
I read this article by a guy named Legs McNeil, who wrote this book, The Oral History of Punk Rock, which is a pretty interesting book.
Book.
It is a great book. Unfortunately, Legs McNeil, I didn't know this about him until I read this article, was one of those hangers-on people who just wants to hang out with everybody. And he really has a kind of, just a disgustingly positive view of G.G. Allen. Like he basically treats Gigi's entire existence as if it's one big party / performance art.
Yeah.
And just kind of poo-poos all the like assault stuff. You know what I mean?
Poo-poos.
Poo-poos. I didn't, you got it. But according to Legs, he was there with Johnny in Johnny Puke's apartment with Gigi and was like following him around after that show. And according to Legs, what they did was they were all sitting there and drinking and partying and stuff. And they get some heroin and they start doing bumps of heroin. And Gigi starts shooting it and then starts doing bumps, alternating between shooting and bumps. And essentially, don't ever
can't do that.
No IVs.
You
Just
can't do that.
don't get intravenous with it.
No heroin.
All right. Not that.
Well, in all seriousness, no needles in arms ever.
Yeah.
Or any part of your body. But also,
Guy shooting into his tank. Grant said I couldn't do it in my arm.
true, no needles anywhere. But to snort and shoot, that's fucking stupid.
It was very stupid.
So stupid.
And apparently they're all hanging out. They think they're partying. Gigi falls asleep before anyone else does, right? And apparently that was normal for him to pass out before anybody else, and everyone would just kind of keep partying, like
Finally.
around his unconscious form. And then Lex talks about how
Thank God he shut up.
yeah, seriously. And then Lex talks about how they had a Polaroid camera and they posed with him like on the ground taking pictures with him and like laughing it up, and that they all go to bed, and when they wake up, they realize he's dead. And they just kind of start poking him, and they're like, "Oh shit, he's dead. Well, okay, we should probably hide the heroin and call the cops," which is what they did.
Which is also punk rock as hell.
You want to
Which
go
is-
get breakfast? Yeah, I gotta eat. I gotta put something in my stomach.
Open the window. Let's go grab some breakfast. Let it air out a little bit.
Yeah. Funny story.
He shot himself.
He shot himself for the
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah, this is last shit. And no, literally, like there was shit on the floor. And funny story, the cops, when they came to remove Gigi's body, found the Polaroids of them posing with his unconscious form and essentially busted up these kids and were like, why the fuck are you taking Polaroids with a dead body? And their argument was, well, we didn't know he was dead at the time.
We were really high.
Yeah. They said they were like, we were really, really drunk, and just hoped that the cops wouldn't ask them if they were under the influence of anything else, which they didn't. They just pulled Gigi's body out of there and left.
They just wanted to get out of the smell.
Yeah, they were probably just like, this apartment reeks. This guy introduced himself as Johnny Puke. I hate it here.
Mr. Puke, can just
It's actually
Give me the-
Pukesinski, but they shortened it when we got to Ellis Island.
Mr. Puke, can you just recount to me how everything went down last night?
Oh yeah,
Actually, no, I can't.
we did a
I was
fuckload
too
of heroin.
drunk.
We took turns banging each other, and then he fell asleep and died, I guess.
Oh, just imagine how red his cheeks and butthole were. Just
Oh, dude.
Oh, come on.
I'm
Fucking
telling you,
dump
like,
after dump.
it probably looked like the surface of Mars between those
That's
cheeks,
what I'm
man.
thinking.
I'm
Like
done with that.
cracked and bleeding.
He
and
does not give me
fucking,
the
like-
type of vibe that he has toilet paper on hand. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no, dude! This guy's got a gaping maw.
All right. On that note, this has been another episode of Murder Murder.
Yeah, sponsorship, Corsair Distillery. You're probably going to need at
Might
least
need one.
a full bottle of triple smoke whiskey to forget this one, guys.
It's delicious, guys.
Pick it up at your fucking Frugal McDougal.
I don't care anymore. I'm out.
I'm going to go home and eat Taco Bell.
Have your own GG moment.
Well, love you people.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell us what you would do to shit on stage. What would you eat? And email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com.
I'd probably. Did you guys know they sell Wendy's chili in cans now? I'd probably.
You mentioned that earlier. thought
I
that was
know
just
because I'm
you
fascinated
dreaming
by it. It's horrible. It looked awful.
It is scary.
But I would probably take like 3 or 4 of those, set them on the dash of my car, and just park it in the sun for a while.
Oh, yeah.
I'd probably dry scoop those and then do cartwheels in the parking lot.
You're a punk rocker with a car? Okay, money bags.
That's what I live in, dog.
It's his house.
The side eye that Grant just gave me.
it says house. It's a Honda
idiot.
Accord.
Yeah. It's sputtering, and so am I.
All right.
Well,
Well, I'm Grant.
Hang on.
hold
And
on,
follow
hold
us
on.
on all
Oh,
our
I'm sorry,
socials
Go
at
ahead.
Trashville
follow us on our
USA.
socials. Email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com.
Here shortly, we should be posting everything on our Patreon. We're going to be doing all our shows from start to finish, unedited on our Patreon. So please subscribe to that. We are most likely going to start a Twitch as well. So if you
We're
want
going to be twitching.
Yeah.
if you want to catch our shows
Just
live,
like Gigi Allen.
You guys are going to be able to. You guys are going to be able to watch this happen live. And then afterwards, we can take the videos, put them on YouTube for anyone who doesn't have a Twitch or doesn't want to watch them live, which I don't blame you. But this is Joey Scrotum.
This is Austin.
Oh, come on.
Austin shit stains.
Perfect.
You broke his soul, guys.
Yeah.
What did you do to him?
Austin, you look defeated.
He's so tired. He's so tired.
I've been up since 8 o'clock this morning.
Oh, that must suck. I've been up since 5. Come on, bro.
Austin's like, and he's getting puss and not me.
This guy's shitting into all the ladies.
This guy has less money than I do. I'm broke, but goddamn.
We'll start hitting people with more chairs, and maybe you'll get.
You know what? I'm gonna try
dude.
it. I'm gonna try that.
Hey, we could all shit on stage during our live performance, which will be coming up.
Yes, sir.
All right.
But anyway, this is Jamie, and I go by Sriracha Urethra.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. And I stick with grunt butter. Pretty
I like
good.
grunt butter.
Grunt butter's
pretty good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like on butter.
Cool. Well, love you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
Like what you hear? Subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Trashville_USA. And if there's a true crime story you want the gang to cover, email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com. Murder Schmurder is produced by Jamie. Our tracking engineer is Grant. And our mix and mastering engineer is Julie. Incidental music and our theme song is provided by Jules. This has been another production of